It might sound crazy, but there are certain things commercial real estate brokers have to do to thrive in their career. And if they don't do them, it's not that they just won't do well, but they could end up having no career at all. So in this video, I'm going to show you a number of things you can do, and after watching this, you'll be ready to go off and make more money. I'll start by making a few general points. First, I'm going to use broker and agent interchangeably as the actual definitions vary market to market. I'm in a market where we're technically agents, but most people refer to themselves as brokers. So if I say broker or agent, I'm really just referring to someone who's licensed to sell or lease commercial real estate. Second, industrial real estate, which is the focus of my channel, is a subcategory of commercial real estate. The other main subcategories are office, retail, multifamily, and land. This is very important to note, and I'll explain why in more detail shortly. The vast majority of commercial real estate deals are done through commercial brokerages, which trade exclusively in one of these asset classes. There are some great agents that work at residential offices, which can be successful in commercial real estate, but the international, regional, and boutique commercial real estate brokerages account for large percentages of the deals that get done. Next, most commercial real estate agents are 100% commission-based. I'll elaborate on this more as it's common in the industry for new agents to earn a small salary when they first get started though. But if you want to make a lot of money, you'll need to do it through earning commissions. Lastly, your personal situation will be unique, so take everything I say with a grain of salt. I'm trying to address this video for new commercial agents as a whole, but I recognize everyone will approach this differently. My goal with this video is simply to provide some insights into the process and equip you with some questions you might want to ask along the way. Or should I say questions you should ask along the way. So with that in mind, I'll introduce you to one of the biggest paradoxes in the industry, and that is that every commercial brokerage puts an emphasis on recruiting new agents, yet it is still difficult to get hired. Let me unpack that a bit, and this will also help tie together a few of the earlier comments that I made. The commercial real estate industry operates similar to other professional industries, such as law or accounting, and this is where the firm takes a percentage of everything the professional earns. In most large brokerages, the firm will take 50% of the agent's gross revenue, and this usually decreases as production goes up. It varies across markets, but it's not uncommon for a brokerage to take 50% up to, call it $250,000 in production, then reducing it to 40% up to another threshold, with potentially going even to 70-30, 80-20, or conceivably 100% to the agent, although that's not overly common. Let's set up a hypothetical situation so that this sinks in. Let's say the brokerage splits are as follows: 50-50 to $250,000, 60-40 to $500,000, 70-30 over $500,000. If an agent does $250,000 in gross production, the agent would pay $125,000 to the brokerage and keep $125,000 for themselves. Keep in mind that these numbers are also pre-tax. If the agent did $600,000 in production in this particular brokerage, the splits would be as follows: $250,000 times 0.5 equals $125,000, $250,000 times 0.6 equals $150,000, $100,000 times 0.7 equals $70,000. I have to emphasize this is only an example and every brokerage will have unique splits, but in this case the agent would keep $350,000 and the amount going to the brokerage would be $250,000. So naturally you'll want to ask any brokerage you're considering what their splits are. Not only will this tell you how much you'll keep, but it'll also tell you how much you'll be paying the brokerage on your production. This reveals why brokerages focus so heavily on recruiting. Hiring and developing new agents is not only necessary for the long-term sustainability of the brokerage, but high-producing agents also bring in a lot of revenue to the firm. Obviously, I don't speak for every brokerage out there, but I believe most brokerages will have a few common objectives when hiring new agents. 1, the agent has the potential to be a revenue producer. 2, the agent will follow the rules, that is, though they won't cause any issues or embarrass the brokerage. And 3, the agent will be a fit with the office culture. Brokerages will want to ensure you're a good fit, but don't neglect to evaluate whether the company will be a good fit for you as well. And to determine that, here are a few things that I'd recommend you try to flush out. First, ask what asset class you'll be working in and whether you'll be doing sales, leasing, or perhaps even both. Most brokerages will want you to specialize in a particular asset class, so ask early if you want to work in a specific area or if you have an option to even choose. You may not have any say in the matter, and it may turn out that you really enjoy the one you end up getting into in the first place, but at the very least, this is something you should find out in advance. There may be a number of reasons why a brokerage would want you to go into a specific asset class, but I think the two main reasons are that they're trying to grow that particular area of their business, or there's a senior broker who needs help on their team. This leads to the next point of finding out in advance who you'll be working with. And I can't emphasize this enough. If you get paired up with the wrong broker, you will hate your job. I'm going to do a live stream next week on this topic, and I'm going to tell a handful of horror stories about this very subject. But make note of this. This might be the single biggest factor that will make or break your career. If I was starting all over again, I would want to know who the senior broker is and also learn about their track record of developing other brokers. If I felt I had leverage in the situation, I would even want to meet with the senior broker and other members of the team to see if there was a fit. I will caution you that asking questions like this might cause some ripples, and a brokerage looking to hire an agent might just go down the path of least resistance and hire someone who isn't asking these questions. It boggles my mind how many new agents join a brokerage without asking these questions though. On the topic of giving yourself the best chance for career success, I would also ask the brokerage about the services and the support they provide. The brokerage will be taking a percentage of your earnings, so you'll want some comfort that they'll be supporting you along the way. They might willingly offer you this during the interview, but flush out what technology they use, what the support staff offers you in terms of marketing and administration, as well if they have any training programs or incentives to complete industry designations such as the CCIM or SIOR designation. Imagine talking to two different brokerages only to learn after you made your decision that one has a robust training and development platform while the one you chose did not. If you've watched any of my other videos, you'll know that I'm earnestly trying to provide as much value as I can without making this channel about me. To that extent, I don't know if I've ever even mentioned the company I work for, nor the city I even live and work in. And don't worry, I'm not going to start now either, but I just want to mention that our company has over 300 offices all over the world. And I can't guarantee anything, but I'd be happy to make an introduction for you if we have an office in your local market. Just shoot me an email at griffithscre@gmail.com and I'll line it up for you. Even if it doesn't lead to a job opportunity, at the very least you'll have another person in the industry that you can ask questions to. As I mentioned earlier, I'm going to do a live stream on Thursday, November 18th at noon Eastern Time. I'll go into this topic in much more detail and we'll also be able to answer any questions that you have. One thing that you'll want to know is what happens if you're starting as an assistant. How long does that program last? What's the salary? What are your expectations as an assistant? And what they're going to teach you along the way. I'll address this and other points in that live stream next week. I'll close with this last point if you're on the fence about this industry. I can't think of another career that I would have enjoyed over this past 16 years as much as this one. I absolutely love the process of taking a deal from start to finish, and having some success in this business has allowed me to build out my own portfolio of industrial properties. There is no guarantee for success, but everyone has the potential for it. To maximize your chances of success, I'd highly recommend you choose the right brokerage at the beginning. Thanks for watching. Reminder to check out that live stream on November 18th if you want to hear more. See you in the next video. Yeah, that's good.